Actually,
Yes.
okay, guys, we are live. Where's the sound at? Let me check sound. We're checking sound. Okay.
Sir. Good.
Test that.
That looks good.
The little thing should just push over.
All right, let's test this.
Work for you.
All right. Okay. Testing. Camera test works. Get this chair out of the way.
Oh, I want to join.
Oh, yes. Let me get this chair out of here. So, Michelle, when people come into the waiting room, go ahead and accept them. And then at 12 o'clock, we'll go live on Facebook. Excuse me. I don't have a mask. Is Elvis still in the lobby? I don't have a mask. I don't have my purse. Is my purse in the truck?
Your purchase is here.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. I need an octo, rectangle, 2 of the LEDs, a snoot, and a barn door for light modifier examples. Can you double check? Because I asked Michelle and I think she got them. But I just need a rectangle set up, not octo. Okay. I'm going to set this here for a minute.
Are we screen sharing on my phone? Yep, there he is. Go for it. Just test that. Let's see what's going on.
Being live?
Yep, we have 4 already in. Or I mean 3, I forgot my. Hello. Yes. Okay. Yep, we're gonna wait for everybody, and we're gonna sort of slowly go into it, so that we do like one line at a time, sort of thing. Think about it. But could you put the power all the way down? Oh, okay, thank you.
And, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, it's a ceiling fan.
What do you see on here? You see mom's sleeping.
You know, let everybody else start your song.
Mm-hmm.
It's what, 59 right now?
We're almost ready. Where are you at? Yeah, she's on her doing it. She's on her doing it. Yep.
Should I type this one?
Go
It's
for
just
it.
little.
Yep. All you have to do is sort of like halfway press on the actually. There you go. Yeah, that means it's out. I don't know why it'll do it as we move.
What is it?
This one. Snapping. Are we ready? Let's do this. All right.
Okay. Let's hope this microphone too. Working. I need the link. Where's the link? Why is it not showing me the link? Sorry guys, I'm gonna try to get the link to get on Facebook. All right. Where's it at? Yeah, we're family.
Yep.
So as long as Yeah. All right. Mm, okay. Can everyone hear me okay? You can hear me? Eduardo, can you hear me okay? Oh, I don't hear you. Let's see. Okay.
Can hear you.
I saw you nod. Okay.
Yeah, we have it in silent.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to share this feed on our Facebook page. So we're sharing the desktop so that when we take a shot, you can see the results in Lightroom. There's the link. Yep. All right. Okay. So we're going live. We're just gonna wait a few minutes to see. A couple of people were trying to get in on earlier, and we were having some difficulties with the microphone, so we had to close it and then reopen it. We're live on Facebook. Okay. So I'm glad you guys joined in on our Zoom meeting so that the quality is a little bit better than going on Facebook Live. So we'll just wait. We'll just wait a couple of minutes. But I'll start to describe. So we can take off our masks because we're all family members here, and we don't have to have a mask. Now, if we had a model in here, if we had different photographers in here, of course, then we would all have to wear masks. But just letting you guys know why we don't have one on. So what we're going to talk about today is we have a couple of the LEDs to show continuous lighting, and then we have some strobes too. We're going to shoot on white, and we're also going to shoot on black. And our model, we call her Barbara. Yep, we call her Barbara. I'll let that go through for a minute. So we're going to take a couple shots. So if you notice that there's a couple of screen shares, and you should be able to choose between the one that says Nikon and the one that says SA Photographers. The one that says Nikon is just simply we're shooting on a Nikon camera. Yes. Okay. So y'all should see that also. Because you can flip back and forth. It should be multiple. Sorry, we'll do this again. Okay. You should be able to see my desktop and then go ahead and share that one again because I had to make it in the Zoom. Okay. Now, if you don't see the view option, it's supposed to be available on the desktop version and the web browser. So you can view, if you go up to the top, it says view options. Go to the Zoom window. You are sharing the screen. Okay. And that way you can flip back and forth. Okay, so on my share, you see Lightroom, and we're shooting with a Canon 5D Mark III, and also we're shooting with, we're using the live function on Canon 70D. And then we have a Nikon on the other screen share. Yeah. Right, I would have to choose. I'd have to go back and forth. So you do have some view options on here. All right. All right, thumbs up for everybody ready to go. Okay, we got, all right. So it's okay, you don't have to share your video. And just chime in if you want to say something, or if you have a question. There's no rhyme or reason, you know, we just kind of go with the flow with this, and sometimes we get led by participant questions. So I'm going to start with turning on these LEDs, and we're going to look at the difference between shooting with these. These LEDs, they do all right. They're not like the top of the line LED. They're just to show you, you know, what we're talking about, what constant light is versus what strobes are. So we're going to move these a little bit closer to Ms. Barbara over here. And Barbara's super tall. So we're going to go ahead and, of course, there's always cables in the studio. All right. So we're going to go ahead and turn, yeah, just raise it up because she's tall. So on this one, we're going to do live view here. And let's rotate. So we've got the live view on the right-hand side of the screen with the Canon 70D. And then over here, the Lightroom is with, well, will be when I get my camera back on because it went to sleep. All right. So we'll just simply, we'll take a shot here. Can you help me with that? I'm about to. So we're tethered with cable. We'll have like a workshop on tethering because there's different ways to tether, but right now I'm tethered with a cable. My camera setting right now on the shutter speed is 1/160 f5. I don't want to go lower than f4. I do like to shoot lower than f4, but I'm not going to because we have a lot of photographers that come in here and some of their lenses don't go below 4.0. So we're going to try to keep it 4.0 and up, even though some of us like to shoot on really low aperture. So I'm going to do that. So if you notice, we don't have any light coming in. It's very low light, so in order to get this to look decent, we are going to have to sacrifice. So we're going to have to go down as low as I can on my shutter, which I don't like to go below 160 because I do have a little bit of a camera shake. And then I'm going to have to bump up my ISO, which none of us really like to do. So I'm going to go up to 800. There, now we're starting to get some light in. Now for those folks that like to shoot with constant lighting, I would recommend that you buy, you know, top of the line, you know, get up there and, you know, the brightness and have that functionality. So the downfall of shooting with the constant light is you have that light constantly on. Well, actually that's a good thing because what you see is what you get. when it comes to power, you're going to need a lot of power. So with the strobes, you know, you're just going to have a little bit of power and it's going to flash. Well, here they're going to stay on all the time. Hopefully you have LEDs so that your model or your client doesn't get hot. But some people just prefer constant lighting, so it's just for photographer preference. So I'm going to come down to 4. What you got over there? So on the, let's go down. How, okay, so hold that one and then spin the wheel.
Oh.
That's as low as it go because you're
Okay.
zoomed. All right, so let's, okay, so now your ISO is at 1800, so let's go ahead and take that shot. I'm gonna do this. That way it's framed. Frame it like you're gonna. Okay, so it's starting to look a little bit better. However, if I'm worried about the noise for my ISO, there's gonna be a considerable amount of noise, but you can shoot just depending on your camera. Learn your camera because some cameras ISO noise will start at 400. Right now I'm at 1250. And I know that my camera will have a little bit of noise, especially in the dark areas. So let's take a shot with that one. All right. I guess we're gonna, yeah, okay. So this one, let's go ahead and take a shot with the live view. See what we get over here. Because I did not adjust that camera. So notice that this camera is set to 1/160. The f-stop is 4.0 and no light. Which also tells us that we're not getting light from the windows. So we want to make sure that we're not going to have extra light coming in to our scene that we don't want. And this just kind of proves it. We lost somebody. Okay. Okay. So notice the Nikon. So let me grab this Nikon real quick. So I'm going to up the ISO on this one. Whew, we're actually, all right. So we are going to go down to 1/60th of a second. All right. Best we can do with these particular LEDs. But like I said, you can have some really high powered LEDs that can try to work with that. The making of photography. Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna take down these LED constant lights. Constant lights, you can have soft boxes. As a matter of fact, that's what I used to use in the beginning, is I had some constant light with soft boxes, and that's how I started out. I had, somebody gave me a light kit, and it was constant lighting. And I wanted to be able to increase my shutter speed, so it didn't work out. So that's why I came over into the world of strobes. So, man, could I get you to tear down this light? I'm going to tear this one down. Or actually, you could just take them out of here because we're done. So now we're going to talk about strobes and the modifiers. Everyone still hear me okay? Thumbs up? Okay, good. So a modifier I like to describe as something that's going to modify your light so that we don't have this harsh light hitting our subjects. Here we have a rectangle softbox. It's shaped like a rectangle. And then here we have our octobox. This one gets used a lot in the studio. I need to see my screen. I can't see. This one gets used a lot in the studio. It's the octobox. So we're not going to use this one today, but I just want everybody to see that. I It's 8-sided. That's why it's called Octogloss. But this is a good general softbox to have. But like I said, we do have quite a few photographers that prefer to shoot with that. I need to see. Okay. Just want to make sure y'all can see me. Here is, this is a beauty dish. This is a boom stand. So on this boom stand, I can adjust it however I want. So this beauty dish just has this round shape. On the inside, it has a reflective type of insert. We're missing that piece, the reflector piece. I also have one that has a white coating for softer light. Nah, it's okay, Liam. We're just gonna use this one today. And this is called a diffuser. A diffuser is what we put on top of the modifiers. We want to diffuse that light so it's not a harsh light. Now, if you're trying to do something to create harsh shadows, of course, take this off. And we'll be using this a little bit later so you can see it in action. It's like one of my favorite ones to use. Okay. Now we're going to talk about lighting up a white background next. Can y'all go discuss that person? Where's Mike? Mike was going to do that for me. So in studios, sometimes we can use, see the big umbrellas? Sometimes we can use those big umbrellas, and it's enough to light your subject and a background. But when you want to light up your white, you can either light it up separately, like that's what we're going to do today. We're going to light up our background separately and then light our model in the foreground. So we're going to go ahead and, so you already saw when I took a shot without the lights on, you see how dark it is. So we know that the overhead lights are not interfering and lights from windows are not interfering. 1/4, okay. All right. All right, so I'm gonna get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and let's take some shots. So Michelle's gonna shoot over there with the Nikon, and I'm gonna shoot, just took that shot there with that in the live view. Remember, I had it set. I'm going to go back to what I want to be at. Yeah, and bring my ISO down. I like to shoot with a 100 ISO. Some oh, the light didn't fire. Hold on. Make sure this trigger is working. Okay, your trigger working. Okay. All right, trigger's working. Okay, so this shows us what our background looks like. And our goal is to make our background white. We don't want it to be so white that it looks like a giant light in the background. We just want, my preference is like a subtle white. We want it to be white, but not super bright. So I'm looking at my screen, and I think it might be a little bright. It might be great. I'm going to turn down the lights a tiny bit because I feel like there's a lot of light reflecting off the wall. So let's go between 1/4 and 1/8, and then hit that test button. It should be good to go. All right. All right. To me, I like that a little bit better. I don't see a lot of reflection bouncing back onto her arms. Oh, nice. All right. All right. So now I'm going to take a shot here on my screen. Oh, I need to turn this off. Okay, I'm going to take a shot with. Did you bump it? Oh.
No,
Okay, so if you're on my screen, you can see our model is dark and our background is white. But again, if we want it like super, super white, we can turn those lights up a little bit more like it was before. Matter of fact, look at my Lightroom window here. That was before, and this is now. It's still white, but doesn't look like a giant light. So yeah, I try to be careful with that. So now we're going to bring in the light. I do like how the light hits her hair. So to me, that's kind of important. It also adds separation. So I'm okay with that. If that bothered me, you guys see the light that's hitting Barbara's hair? If that bothered you, what you want to do is you would just bring Barbara up forward out of those lights. But the umbrellas are feathering onto the backside of her hair. Okay, we're going to bring in this rectangle. Look about the same as the others. Okay. Yeah. Barbara's kind of tall, so I'm going to raise this light up. And point it down a little bit. Now this is just to show you the how the strobe is functional. And every photographer has their own preference. Some people don't like shooting from the side. Some people only like shooting from the top. Some people want the lights lower. But I'm just going to show you today how these strobes work. So right now, we are shooting, not tethered, wireless. So we have a receiver on the light, and then we have, we have the, well, they're called transceivers. So this is the receiver, the trigger, and the receiver. So let me show you on here. If you can see, this is the receiver, and this is the trigger. So those two communicating with each other, it's not really smart technology. Basically, it's just going to send a signal out to trigger the light. Let's see where we're at. All right. Everybody see on my Lightroom how that rectangle lit up Barbara. I think she's well lit. We don't have a lot of shadows under her neck. I think I'm okay with that. So now when you want to start to get, into creative lighting, you can kind of shoot low and, do different things. But today we're just explaining what these lights are doing. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to show you what it's going to look like when we don't put lights on the white background. Let me get one more shot. Sorry, let me get one more shot over here on this camera, right here in this preview. Okay. This Canon 70D right here is shooting with a 24-105 lens. The Lightroom camera is shooting with the 70-200 lens. And I'm at 4.0 on that and 4.0 on that. We're trying to keep the cameras similar. So let's adjust the Nikon camera. Are you on the Nikon? Okay. Oh yeah, so we are going here. Right here. ISO sensitivity. We want it.
that's what I was talking about.
Okay. Then we're going to be 1/160. Okay, and then we hold this and go.
I zoomed in a little bit.
Okay. All right, we can get down to 4. There we go. Let's take a shot with that Nikon so y'all can see in the Nikon screen. So we have all the cameras set to the same settings. Let's try to frame it like this one. Move this out of the way. Come up a little bit closer. Little less negative space on top. So that if y'all want to, you know, annotate something like here, I'm going to draw around there. If y'all have a question about something. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to turn off the lights that are hitting the background, and we're just going to focus on one light here. We're going to have her keep facing front. A little on the weird side. I'm going to come up close to her. Quite a bit of light on her right now. Oh, Michelle, can you bring that light back a little bit? It's in my little bit in the view. That's good. Andy, I can't hear you if you're saying something. Okay. Guess we're back. Okay, so what I want you to notice when we turn the lights off on the background, it starts to turn gray. And sometimes what I like to do is I like to have like a medium gray color. Oh, it's already accepted. Let's go back. Okay. So we're going to move Barbara away from the wall and the light away from the wall so you can see the color changes in the gray. Yes, we're going to move it. See the distance between the light and Barbara? We're going to kind of keep that the same, but come all the way, bring Barbara right here. Okay. Okay. So that's okay, Liam, right there's good. Come over this way a little bit. Over this way, toward, there you go. All right, so now I'm going to take a shot. And notice how that gray is getting darker. So Andy, I'm going to put you in the waiting room for a minute because I'm not sure. Andy, when you come back on, please add your video. Oh, you have that on. Okay. So I'll just take a couple more shots. There we go. Okay. So guys, can y'all go turn on the two umbrellas? We're going to take the same shot. We're going to turn those two umbrellas back on. Oh, wait, Liam, let her take a shot. This light is too close to Barbara. Let's move it back a tiny bit. Let's come back this way. Yeah, toward Michelle. Okay, we're good. Just take a shot like that. And then come this way. There you go. Let's see what your camera set at. You must have zoomed. Let's go back down to F4. So it's the other way. Or we keep it at F4. There we go. Okay. So if y'all want to switch over to the other screen share, you can see the Nikon camera shots, and then over here we have the Canon ones. I'm going to go ahead and do this Canon one. That's stationary. This is the live view. This is what we have in person here. Okay. Since we moved her around. Too much. Okay. That's the live view, and over here in the Lightroom is my 5D. Okay, so now let's turn on the umbrellas. We moved Barbara forward, and you saw how the white starts to turn gray when you move your model away from your background and your light, of course. Now we're turning the lights back on in the background. Let's go ahead and turn this light off. It's going to be similar to what we saw earlier. I just want to make sure we're connected. Let's take a shot with the 70D. Okay. Right here, you'll see this one. Back online. That's the issue with tethered, wired tethering is sometimes it gets yanked. So what I want you guys to see is we still have the background. Our model is dark. Okay. No, go to, Andy, yes. I might as well turn off the annotations. Let me turn off the annotations. Okay. Clear. They're all. Okay. Can I get a thumbs up? Okay, good. That was one of our first issues, is this microphone not working. Okay, everybody understand about, lighting your background separate. So I'm gonna take this shot here. Okay, so we know there's no light interfering with our shot. So if I could get one of you guys to turn on this rectangle. So now we're gonna bring on the light closer up again. Oh, it's too dark.
Oh, this is not.
Did it fire? Hit test. Bring it up.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, there we go. All right. There we go. A little bit better. Yeah, now she's going to shoot it with the Nikon. I guess I've tethered so much that these wires keep just falling out. Okay. And I want y'all to see in this screen right here. There. Hey, you know what I noticed? Y'all noticed that little bit of grayness up here? Kind of, it looks like vignetting, but it's because of the light. Yeah, it's where the light is placed. So we would just move that back if we could. Okay, so we're going to take a little break right now. You can stay on, but what we're going to do is we're going to change it from the white background, and we're going to put black, and we're going to do some lighting, some different lighting that way. Yeah. We're just going to go ahead and tear down these umbrellas. Yeah, let's take them down. Be careful with the umbrella shop because it's warm from the continuous light being on, the model light being on. So we're just going to set these to the side, out of the way. Go ahead and open that up. Okay, let's make it straight with the lines. Yes. It's almost like a box, a little partial box. Okay, so we'll open it up a little bit. Is that new?
I have no idea.
It was at some point too close to the bulb and got too high.
Should I take this down?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take it down. You have to check that out. All right, let's roll Barbara into our box area. Hopefully she doesn't fall apart on us. I'm keeping her on this floor dolly so I don't have to pick her up and take her off every time. How you doing? I'm going to open these up. There's a reason for that. All right. I want her exactly next to this here. All right. Actually, she's pretty tall. All right, turn this one back on. Bring it down to 1/8 power. And I want her face straight on to us. I may take that wig off. I don't know. All right. Far away, we might be too far for you to be able to see on that one. Yeah. Okay, we're going to split this light. Oh, I have a 70 to 200. Just zoom in. All right. Line here. Okay. So notice how the light is splitting down. Well, let me try again. Let me get connected. Okay. Can see. I'm back on. Okay. Try not to get the light in the photo. Okay. It may not be a desirable shot or something that you're looking for, but I wanted you to see having the light on one side can make it look split down the middle. So she's dark on one side. And come up a little closer on her face so you can look really close. Yeah. So you see how half her face is lit up and half is not. So Liam, can I get you to, we're gonna do a circle with the light. So the light's gonna stay the same distance away from Barbara, but we're just gonna kind of go circle around her. So just come a little bit diagonal to her. Okay, all right, stop right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple shots. As he starts moving around, you can see where the where the light is hitting her. So I have the model light so you can see in person. Well, I'm probably going to block it, but now what we're going to see is we're going to see how a little bit more of her face is starting to light up. So let's go ahead and bring it a little bit more. All right. So, all right. So a little bit more of her face is lit up. Let's come like this way now. We're going to come. Actually, let me hold this. Yeah, hold that. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come up and over, but I want to bring it back down. Yeah, come up high so that she's not in. She's pretty tall, so. There. I need that height. There we go. See, we can do that straight on. No, I can't. I can right here. That's straight on. I actually like it. I like the way it looks in my camera. So now we're going to bring it back down similar to the other ones. So we're going to bring this back down. Like here, this one. Because we're going to go exactly like it was over there, but we're going to come to this side. Straight on, a little bit down. Okay. And we're just going to come over here, this angle. We're going to go through the images. You'll see methods. No, we're good. I think we're good. All right, Shell, take that shot. Try to do shoulders up. Because of your height? Yeah. Notice Michelle's angle's a little bit low. I guess we could move the a little bit. All right, let's go that way. Uh-huh. There we go. Okay, and then right next to her, oh, let Michelle do it. We can do it on the Nikon. All right, and then you're going to be right on the side of her. There you go. I don't know if that's right. Yeah, you get the idea how she's halfway lit. It's not desirable for me. Some people may be looking to do that for a project or something. It's just photographer taste on lighting. So I'm going to go look at the screen here. Look at the Lightroom screen. Let's get that up. So we're going to go from the beginning. We're just going to go to, just watch the shadows on her face as we move. So you as a photographer will decide what you're trying to accomplish in the lighting. If you know, to me, shadows are more dramatic. So sometimes it's the look I'm going for. Sometimes I just need a clear shot. Let me go. So I'll go back a little bit. Here, we want to make sure there's no other light interfering with our model being lit up. Brought in a little bit of light. Here we are, split lighting there. We start moving the softbox around so you can see where the shadows are moving. As we move the light around, you can see. And you guys, you know, you may like that one, you may like the first one. It just depends on your taste and your client's taste on how you like the lighting. Okay? So now we're going to bring in the beauty dish. Let's go ahead and turn that rectangle off. Yeah. And I'm going to set the beauty dish. I'm going to just kind of go up and over so you can see what a light above does with the shadows. What did I do? In between. Uh-huh. Kind of like what we had the other. Hang on. Let me do this one. You want to go manage the computer? So this, some people are intimidated by the boom stand because it is kind of interesting to work with. Why am I having cable issues today? Thank you guys for being patient with me with my little issues happening. There we go. I think it's this cable. Never mind, it's in that one. All right. So because I'm going to come up and over, I will be at this angle over her head. Probably like that. Because I want y'all to see what the overhead light looks like. Out. Let me get this in place. You know what? Let me go ahead and close these flap into a box. Liam, can you see if somebody's trying to come in? We're going to go straight on. Straight. Box her in. So look at the lines on the floor. We'll get there. Box her in. Oh, her. Oh, just don't mess with her arms. Jeez. Okay. You want to come out this way because I'm going to come out this way. Did you set the brake? No. Okay, good. Here, move this light out. There we go. I don't want any of this to interfere with moving this light. Again, method to my madness here, and we shall see. Watch the shadows on her neck as I raise this light. See how it gets a little bit darker. I'm just shooting this directly over so you can see what happens. The alien bees will come right back on. It's not recommended to unplug and plug from the power cord, but I just accidentally unplugged it. So Michelle, my goal is to have the light right straight over her. Can you guide me and tell me when? Right there? Okay. I'm gonna set the brake. No, did I? Oh, that. No, I'm gonna be right over. Try a different brake. Now break these boom stands because we don't want them to move. All right. You can already see how it's going to go. You can see from the model light what's happening. super bright. I do not like that. I needed to raise it more, but oh, it doesn't fire. Oh, there we go. Okay, right above her head. Some people like to put a light overhead just to make sure there's a lot of light coming up from there and hitting the top of the head. Oh, it didn't come in. Let's see here. Oh, let me try it again. I want y'all to see this. Did it come in? Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now you see that extreme light on the top. I'm actually going to raise it a little bit more. You may like it, you may not like it. If I raise it more, you'll see how the sides will light up more because the light will spread a little bit more. And you can see it on the side. All right, take that shot. I raised the light. I want y'all to see, we move the light away a little bit. It should be a little bit lighter on the top of her head. See how bright it is in that Lightroom screen? If any of you guys came in a little late, we're going to go over through the images that we took today. That way you can see what we did earlier. Okay. A little bit better. Okay, so now we know when we bring in another light. Let's bring in the rectangle just for fun. I'll go ahead and plug this into you, Michelle. I'll just come in on this side. All right, check that light. Well, oh, no. I had changed my settings earlier. I like it better with it. Yeah, I think the light is too bright. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring up my. Okay. This is not my ideal setup for me. I mean, a lot of photographers will shoot with a light from above like that, but your model has to be away from the background. I wanted you to be able to see where the light hits. Oh, we're zoomed in. That doesn't help. Let's get out of that zoom. There we go. You can see where that light is hitting. If we had the white background, you would not be able to see. Almost looks like a vignette too. Is there somebody in the weight room? Okay. Let's see. Let's look at that Nikon screen. Flip over to that Nikon screen. I kind of like the way that looks. When she did, she stepped back a little bit. Oh, because she zoomed in. Yeah. Like a tiny bit. Go ahead. Okay. F4 is going to bring in a little bit more light. You can see that. You can see where the light is hitting on the sides. For kicks, I'm going to move those flats, and so where she's not boxed in, and I want you to see what happens. Why do we have this? Why do we not have this? And I want you to see the difference. No, leave that. Oh. We're going to move this. Here, well, let me do that one. No, let me get this here. Yeah. No, we're going to open it like a lot. Maybe more. Okay. Let me put this back over here. Yeah, I want it back to where it was. How's that? That's where the brake is on. That's it? Okay. Take that shot with the Nikon. You're gonna move this. That. Oh, I need to turn. Oh, it's okay. Okay. Take that shot. Very subtle difference. Look at her dress. I'll do it with this screen. Might be hard to tell with this angle. So we'll flip through. And usually what I notice is there's more black on her when I have, this is, oh, I don't have the same thing on her. This kind of dress doesn't help, does it? With all that reflection going on. Let's turn on the thing here. This should be better. So now you see the light above, and now we're going to bring the main light on her. So can you go check the tether thing over there? Make sure I'm connected. Okay. All right. Oh. Okay, we're back. Okay. Do this. There it is. No, that's not it. I did one more after that one. We have more light on her. Okay. So desirable or undesirable, it's up to you guys on what your taste is. And if we move that light back, it'll start getting flatter. So I like to bring in some shadows. That's just my taste. But you do have to try to please some clients and models sometimes. And sometimes they don't like that. So I'm gonna let Michelle take a shot with the Nikon camera over there with that lens. She's got the kit lens at 18 to 55. So in case anybody just has the 18 to 55. I know it's hard to see quality. We did select the HD, but Zoom says some of the Feeds won't be in HD quality because it's reserved for the business class, and we are on the pro class. So hopefully y'all can see. Well, the goal today is to see where the light hits. I want you to see where we place the light, where it hits in light intensity. Moving away from the background, which we'll do right now on the black. We did that with the white already, and you noticed when we moved away from the white, it started to turn gray. So it'll just get darker if we move away from the black, which is more ideal for my taste. Yep, we're shifting. Hey, that one doesn't even need to be plugged in anymore. That's all right. It'll come back on. So mine, I'll show you my ideal of the way I like to put the boom stand. You know, if anybody ever rents a studio and you want to use the boom stand, you can come get me or one of us, because it can be intimidating if you're not used to it. But I move this thing all the time, so I'm okay with it. Which one? No, I'm gonna show how I like to shoot with the beauty dish. Oh, there's one thing I wanted to show you guys first before I do this one. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this one on. Michelle, can you grab the reflector? Yep. We're going to shoot with one light and a reflector on the opposite side, like right here, so they can see what happens, like opposite the softbox. And I'll come back this way a little bit. Nope. Yeah, we're going to do straight down, but raise it up. So because when you set your reflector, you're going to make sure the reflector can see the light. We'll just go this way. What's that? It can come down. It can come down. That's a little high. That's the soft silver side. Yeah, it's the silver. Yeah, maybe come up this way a little bit. Yeah, okay. Now face it toward her. We need some of this light to hit that reflector. If that reflector doesn't bounce off onto her, then we position something wrong. Let's try not to unplug this time. So let's watch her arm. Am I connected? It's not hitting. Let me go. Oh. Supposed to be up there. Right, there we go. Subtle light hitting the edges of her. You can see right here on the edge of her arm was reflecting. Medium 4.0, 1/60th. Okay. Okay. Well, we're into a little overtime. Here, let me get one shot with this. 70 over here. Okay. All right. So we have 3 different lenses, 3 different cameras, and you can kind of see the difference in how much light comes in. Even though they're set the same, you can see how much light is coming in on the Nikon versus the D70 is pretty close to the 5D. I say D70, 70D. Somebody say is what I mean. All right. So I did want to show you guys some other modifiers. So we have Let's see, am I in frame here? Can't see if I'm in frame. Yeah, I'm in frame, sort of. Okay, this is a snoot, and it's going to modify the light into a small circle. You can even add a grid, which is going to make it even a little bit more narrow. And then this is a barn door. Sometimes I like to shoot with a barn door when I'm trying to do some hair light, trying to block light. Just like those V-flats back there, they're intended to block light. Also on the regular Paul Buff reflectors, you can add a grid. Well, this has to go on a different reflector, but the grid will also, it'll get darker and narrow light. Not in this one. It goes in another one. So, barn door. Okay, so these are barn doors. You can play with the flaps like this. So we will be using these in some of the future shoots for particular reasons. And show me that umbrella ring over there. Let me tell them the umbrella ring. So the umbrella ring, some people use them, some people don't. So this umbrella ring goes on the light, and I like to have it on there. So what happens is, you see it's going to guide the light in this direction instead of just blowing out everywhere. It'll go to the center of the back of the umbrella. It'll go to the center of the back of the umbrella and then spread out. So I like using these with the umbrellas. One thing about the umbrellas, we already took them down, but you can adjust where the shaft is on the light. If you move the umbrella closer to the light, it's going to be a harsher light. If you move it away from the light, like the middle part of the umbrella is further away from the bulb, it actually gets softer. So a lot of times we want to shoot a little bit away from the bulb. We'll see some of that in some of the shoots coming up in the future. Let me go ahead and grab a chair. So we're going to sit here and we're going to go through some of the photos that we took earlier here on this screen share. Yeah, where'd the other chair go? Thank you. So basic lighting, we cover what a modifier is, what a strobe is versus a continuous light. Okay. And, you know, some of you guys already know this. Some of you guys are new. It's fine. We'll show you what we got. I did forget to mention we are primarily a studio rental, so everybody can come in and use the equipment that you saw today. So let's go to the screen share here. So we're going to go over some of the pictures that we took for the people that came in a little bit late. We started with the white right here. So this was lighting up the background separate from the model, but you can see some of it feathering over onto her edges and onto her hair, which I like because I like to keep that separation. But somebody may be, you know, real picky and you don't want any light to hit, so you would move your subject more forward and make sure that she is completely dark. And this is what we do for silhouettes, which we have one of those coming up too. So that way you know there's no light interfering, maybe a little bit of light here on her hand. So then we brought in the foreground light. She's plastic, so you can see all this stuff. We moved her away from the background. We moved her and the light away from the background, and you notice that it starts to turn gray. And the further we move away, that white turns more gray. I actually like to make it a really dark gray, sometimes when I shoot. Here we brought in the black background, and what we showed were angles of light so that you can see where the shadows hit. So watch her nose as I move through these images. So we move the light around, more of her face gets lit up. Oh, we got the yellow, we got the color wheel. Focus. Right. Technical difficulties for the moment. Oh, let me cancel that. Let me try this camera went to sleep, that's why. Okay. And we move the light around to the other side. We can almost make a GIF image out of this and watch the light spin around her. We brought a light to the top so you can see what the light above looks like. You see a little bit hitting her nose and her arm. You see it straight above her. We brought in more light. Of course, I didn't stand straight. This is where we move the light higher. And then we brought in a foreground light. We brought in the rectangle softbox. That one I had a problem with. And this is our last shot of the day. So what we were doing with, we were looking at the reflection by bringing in a reflector. You can see that reflector bringing in light on this side of her. So sometimes if you just have one light, bring in a reflector and you can get some of those edges. Bring a little bit of subtle light on one side. So does anybody have any questions about what we talked about today, what we covered? Everybody good? Okay. All right, I like the thumbs up. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to tear down and clean out the studio so the next person that has a shoot can have a blank canvas to work on. All right, Fred, thanks.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad everybody joined. This was our first run. I wanted to cover some of the basic stuff, the real basic, you know, what the strobe is, you know, what these modifiers are, because we're going to be using them this point forward. And I will post the schedule soon. I already have the schedule ready. As a matter of fact, is this the spiral that has the schedule, Michelle? Oh, never mind. My schedule's up front. So I'll get that schedule posted. I'm really excited to do this again. I'm ready to get back in the studio. I tell you what, this is like my first week back since the shutdown. Y'all may have seen me around the studio here and there, but today was really my first day back in, and it feels great to hold that camera in my hand again. So that was pretty awesome. So hopefully COVID calms down a little bit. We'll see where it goes from there. I'm not sure, because I do teach little ones because they're not allowed to go to school yet. So that's where I've been focused on family stuff, but hopefully we can get back in the studio. But Fridays are my days here, so we're going to try to do this every Friday. We do have it scheduled through February, so even if you don't like the topic from today, you can chime in on a topic any other time, because some of you guys know all this stuff already, but some of it will be themed and some of it will just be specific for lighting. My favorite is the color gels, so I look forward to that one. If nobody has any questions, we're going to go ahead and end the meeting here, and we'll see you next Friday. Hopefully we'll see you next Friday, same time. All right, bye-bye, guys.
See you.
Bye. Oh. All right.